Okay, hello, happy Wednesday, welcome. So I'm excited to be here with you guys live again today. I have a really cute project that I'm going to share with you guys today. So before I jump right in, so hello, my name is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm so excited to be here with you guys sharing a really fun project. We're actually going to be using the Frosted Floral Designer Series paper. This is from our current holiday catalog. This paper is beautiful. If you don't have this paper, you need to get it. You just need to get it. It is gorgeous, you guys. You're going to love it. But today, in addition to sharing a project featuring this Designer Series paper, I'm going to share a tip with you on how you can maximize your Designer Series paper. Because I know I don't mind cutting designer paper, I don't mind using it, but what bothers me is when you have to glue it down and you have two sides that are beautiful, it really stinks to have one side hidden. So I'm going to share with you a tip today on how you can maximize your paper and how you can use both sides and not have to sacrifice one side in your projects. So I'm going to go ahead, flip the camera around, we'll get started, and yeah, and I'm going to show you this paper up close as well. Hello, make sure you say hello as you pop in, that way I can say hello to you back. So let me get this camera flipped around and we'll get started. Alright, so here is that Designer Series paper. I have another project that I'm going to share with you guys later this week using this Frosted Floral paper. So here are 4 of the patterns, and then I'll show you, what am I missing? I'm missing one somewhere. I'll show it to you in a second. So here are 4 of them. They are gorgeous, and they've got this sort of pearlized look to them. I love this paper. It is so pretty, and I mean, it just would really stink to have to choose a side. This paper is so pretty. This is actually the pattern that we're going to use today. So pretty. And then this is my last sheet of this one. This one is gorgeous. I love it. And just such beautiful colors. Let me see, which one did I not show you? Oh yeah, this one right here. So tomorrow's project that I'm going to share with you features this pattern here. So pretty. And it just features some really great colors. I'll tell you which colors are in here as well. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So you've got Blackberry Bliss, Blushing Bride, Gray Granite, Merry Merlot, Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pear Pizzazz, Pineapple Punch, Powder Pink, Seafoam Green, Soft Suede, and Tranquil Tide. I mean, tons of colors, and it's just amazing how they come together and they work so well. Okay, so let me set this off to the side, and I'm going to show you what we're going to create today. So this is the card, but we're going to use a different pattern. Like I said, we're not using this pattern from that designer paper. We're going to use a different one, but this is the card. So it's so cool. Instead of just cutting down a layer and putting a layer of the designer paper on your card, you can make the designer paper your card base, and then that way you don't have to sacrifice one of the sides of your designer paper. You can feature both sides. So I have just cut down a piece of that designer paper, and I've just used it as my actual card base. And then to sturdy it up, all you do is just add some layers to the inside, and then you can also layer up the front even more than I did here if you want to, but I really wanted to showcase those flowers. Just add some cardstock to the inside. I did 2 layers of cardstock on the inside, and so it still is a nice and sturdy card. It stands up fine. But isn't that gorgeous? And then look, you know, you've got all this color and decoration on here, and so it's just awesome. I just love it. And I used to do this years ago, and I forgot that I used to do this, and I remembered, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to share this with everybody. So I also decorated my envelope, and I put some of that designer paper on the flap, and then stamped that cute little bird that comes in the stamp set that we're going to be using today, Petal Palette. And there you go. So it's just a really great way to showcase your paper and to get to use both sides. So I'm going to share with you how to do that today. So let me move this one out of the way. I'm actually going to stand it up so that I can look at it. Set my envelope to the side. Okay. So the pattern that we're going to use today is this one we're gonna use this one. Isn't this so pretty? I love this one. So I put some notes here to remind myself how I want to cut it down. But okay, so this is 12 by 12. So you can get 2 cards out of your 12 by 12 sheet, 2 standard size cards out of your 12 by 12 sheet, which means that you can get out of one package of our 12 by 12 designer series paper, you can get 24 cards and also have all of your envelopes decorated. So what you want to do is, so for this piece, I'm going to go ahead and cut this down, and I want to make sure that these flowers stay vertical when I make the card. So I'm going to put this 12 by 12 piece in with the flowers up vertically, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this at, let me move this, I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 8.5 inches. Okay, so putting this in my Stampin' trimmer. So right here, 8.5 inches, I'm going to cut it. Okay, so I'm going to be left with this strip. But we're not going to throw this out, we're not going to waste this. We're going to use this on our envelopes, okay? So now you've got this. So what you want to do, because I want my flowers vertically, so you're going to have to think about that depending on the direction of your design. I'm going to rotate my paper this direction so that my flowers are horizontal, and I'm going to cut this at 5.5 inches, okay? And then I'm going to cut another one at 5.5 inches. So these would be my 2 card bases essentially. And then you're left with just this 1-inch strip. And you could still use this 1-inch strip. You could actually use this to decorate the inside of your cards. You could cut this in half and put a piece inside of each card. And then literally you're left with nothing. No scrap, nothing. So awesome, awesome. Okay, so now these are our 2 pieces for card bases. I'm only making 1 card base, so I'm just going to take this 1 piece. I've got my Simply Scored board here, and I'm going to put this with the flowers up vertically in here, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. You don't want to press too hard. Designer paper isn't like working with cardstock. I mean, this is good quality, but you don't want to press too hard or you can tear through. Okay, so that's actually our card base. All right, so get my bone folder. And I'm just going to give this, there we go, really nice crease. Okay, so there we go. And then the inside, you're going to have this beautiful color on the inside. Isn't that awesome? I love it. And then for this piece, I'm just going to fold this in half. I'm going to use this on the envelope. Just going to fold it in half and cut it. And I'm actually going to use this side of the pattern for my envelope flap, so we'll do that in a little while. All right, put these away, and I'll save this piece for my other card. Okay, so let's start deciding how we're going to decorate this card. So the stamp set that I'm using is Petal Palette. So this one is a really large stamp set, so it comes in 2 cases. I love the stamp set. This image is my favorite. I love it. And then you've got so many different sentiments to choose from. Just a really, really great stamp set. So I'm going to be using this flower as the focal point on the card. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my flower. Let's see. Alrighty. Whoops. So I've got a little piece of Scrap Whisper White here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my flower, and I'm going to stamp that in Memento because I'm going to be using my Stampin' Blends to, actually I'm going to bring this to the stamp. I'm going to be using my Stampin' Blends to color this in. I'm so excited because I'm going to use Night of Navy. Oh my gosh, I love Night of Navy. Okay, what is this? Let's go ahead and stamp this down. I know, the little bird is so cute. Okay, stamp that down. All right, so I want this to dry really well before I use my blends on that. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, and I'm going to do some more of my stamping before I start with my blends. So then I've got this little strip of, this is gray granite cardstock, and I am going to stamp my sentiment on there in Blackberry Bliss. And for the front of the card, I'm going to stamp the From the Heart sentiment. Hopefully I still need to re-ink this Blackberry Bliss. But it's actually kind of cool. It gives me kind of like an ombre look since it's needing to be re-inked. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this off to the left, right about there, and then I'll just press and hold. Okay, that looks good. I kind of did a little wonky thing there. Well, let me just see. I'm going to flip it over and let me just try one more time. And then I'll decide which side I like better. So off to the left. Okay, so which side do I like better? I'll go ahead and go with this side. Okay, and I think that's all that I need the Blackberry Bliss for. Then I'm gonna bring in gray granite, and I am going to stamp my sentiments for the inside and my little bird. Okay, so this is a layer for the inside of the card, and this is cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and take this gray granite. Okay. And I'm going to stamp this cute little bird. Okay. Stamp that bird right down here. Okay. And then I'm also going to go ahead and stamp that bird in the bottom left-hand corner of my envelope, because we want to decorate that too. Right there. Okay, and that's it with the gray granite. Then I need Night of Navy. I'm going to stamp with that for my sentiment on the inside. I love the inside sentiment. Let me grab my Night of Navy from up here. Okay. So for the inside, so you've got From the Heart on the outside, and then on the inside it's going to say, thank you for everything. Isn't that sweet? Hi, Kelly. Okay, so I'm going to do my thank you first. Ink this up. Okay, so let me be careful when I stamp this time. So I'm going to put this up kind of high so that I can have room to write. Thank you. I love Night of Navy. Oh my gosh, I love this blue. Glad you made it. Okay, for everything. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so all of our stamping is finished. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back to our flowers. So hopefully you guys, I'll bring it up closer in case you can't see really well. It's just such a pretty color. Okay, so on the card that I already did, for this one I actually used the light, where is it? Light Rich Razzleberry, and I used the light Blackberry Bliss to color in the roses, and then I used the light and dark shade of Old Olive for my leaves, because I don't have any of these other greens featured, but you know what? It's actually okay. I mean, you can't even tell that that green isn't one of the greens in the background, so it works out. Okay, so let me put this back. So for this card, I'm going to use Night of Navy, the light and dark shade of Night of Navy for my flowers. So I like to, when I'm using my Stampin' Blends, I like to start with the dark. And I'm going to use the little, I call it the pen tip. I'm going to use the pen tip. And I like to just go in and just follow the lines that are already there from the stamped image. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this dark Night of Navy. Okay. Now I'll come in with the light shade and I'm going to blend that dark shade in. I love using the Stampin' Blends. Love, love, love them. This is my light one, right? Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm going to come in again with my dark shade. And okay, so actually, yeah, I like how that looks. You can see how this first one, you can see how that first one looks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to go back over that with the light. I actually really like the shadowing on that one, so I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next one. Okay, so now same thing. I'm going to hit these leaves with the dark Old Olive, and then I'll go in with the light. And then I'm going to show you guys up close because I know you can't see all that well. Probably, maybe. Let me bring this in close so you all can see it up close. And you can really see that shadowing and shading. Isn't it so pretty? Oh, I just love how it looks. So pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna clear a little bit of room here so that we can die cut this out and start putting everything together. So, got some more notes here for myself where I'm going to put these notes. I'll stick it right here. Okay, so the stamp set, whoops, hold on. This Petal Palette stamp set, there are coordinating dies that you can get to go with them. So this is Petals and More Thinlit dies. So we're going to use the coordinating dies. If you don't have the dies, you can always just hand cut the flowers. No big deal. So I'm just going to bring my big shot in. So I've got my magnetic platform, one cutting plate, put my stamped flowers down, grab this die, and line this up. Oh no, come on magnetic platform, don't do me like that. Okay, yep, that looks good. Another cutting plate on top. And run it through. Move that out of the way. And let's put it together. Okay, so that's our inside layer. So we'll go ahead and layer up the inside now. So this is, I already told you, this is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches, and then this is a piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we'll just layer this up with some adhesive. I'm using Fast Fuse because it is my favorite. And there are still some refills available. I checked today. There's still some refills available in the clearance section, so I'm gonna order even more. We'll just add this to the inside of our card. And look how pretty this Blackberry Bliss looks against the mint macaron. Or is this soft sea foam? Maybe that's soft sea foam. I don't know, I can't tell. you know, tell me. Isn't that so pretty? Look at that. I love it. I love it. Okay. So then just to kind of soften the flowers, because there is a lot of pattern happening here, one way to do that is to add vellum. So you don't lose the pattern, but it just kind of tones it down so that your focal point can stand out a little bit more. I love adding vellum. I think this is 3 3/4 of an inch by 5. Yes, I am correct. Okay, so before I add that down, what I want to do is I'm going to add our sentiment. So I'm just going to put the sentiment down here towards the bottom, right about there, I think. So let me just add a little bit of adhesive. So I'm putting it about an inch from the bottom, I would say, about an inch from the bottom of the vellum. Okay, stick that there. And then I'm going to add my flowers on right there. Let me grab my dimensionals. Okay, so we'll just put that there. And then the technique to hiding the adhesive on your vellum is just put it behind those elements that we just put on, and then you'll never know it's there. So cool. And then we're just going to center this up on the front of our card. So right there. I love it. Okay, so this is pretty just as it is. You don't have to add anything else, but I couldn't help using the frosted and clear epoxy droplets. So these actually coordinate with the suite that the designer paper comes in, okay? So these actually coordinated, so I went ahead and said, well, let me go ahead and use these little guys. So I used the frosted ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the frosted ones again. Thank you. Okay, so let's just pick up, just gonna use my take your pick tool. I'm adding the little ones here to the center of my roses. Oh, isn't that so pretty? Just pop those right there. These are really nice. I like these. Oh, I thought I picked it up. I guess I didn't. Just pop those right in the center. Give them a press. Okay. Okay, so there's that. So then let's finish up our envelope. Okay, so remember this is one of those leftover pieces we cut. So thank you. So now we're gonna add with this pattern facing up. So super easy. All you have to do, liquid glue just around the edges of the flap of your envelope. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys, this is the perfect way to use up designer paper. I don't like having a ton of paper left over in the end. I feel so wasteful. So I'm telling you, you will not have anything left doing this. And your cards, your projects will be gorgeous. Okay, so if you want to make sure that that glue is nice and smooth, you can just run your bone folder over the back just to make sure it's nice and smooth. Now all we have to do is just trim off the excess. I'll use these scissors. Okay. Trim, trim, trim. Okay. So there's that. Let me get this out of the way. Put my glue away. Okay, there it is. Look at this card. Isn't it so pretty? Look at that. So you've got the beautiful envelope. Then it says, from the heart, thank you for everything. Gorgeous card. Great way to showcase your designer paper. And then let me bring in my other one. Bring in the example. So there we go. There you go. Isn't it great? I love it. So I hope that you guys like this and give it a try. I would love for y'all to try it and share pictures with me. I want to see what you come up with. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I hope y'all like this tip. I'm gonna flip the camera around quickly. Okay, so thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that little tip, and I will be back next week. Thanks. Give it a try, okay? And I'll be back next Wednesday. We'll be here live again next Wednesday, same time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate y'all joining me. Bye. Thanks, Shirley. Bye-bye.